The News and Special Events Divisions of the Mutual Broadcasting System present a special report.
This first satellite was today successfully launched in the U.S.
Dallas, Texas, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m.
This is probably the most difficult time for a problem like this to occur.
Days after terrorism at the Olympic Games in Munich, West Germany.
Every instinct in my body. But as president, I must put the interests of America first. America needs a full-time president.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Orenthal James Simpson, not guilty of the crime.
Here's another late development, and this news keeps coming in.
Hi there, everyone. I have to tell you about the picture of John Kerry and me. That was taken about 5 years ago when he came up to speak to the Chamber of Commerce, and Bob St. Louis took that picture, and I kind of treasure it because Bob was a good friend, and he was the one who got me started on this nefarious career of talking to you by TV, which I like very much to do. And today I'm very happy to have with me Keith Breyer of the Sled dog racing family and his wife Claudine. And Keith has an invitation for you and for all of us for this weekend. I know it's Valentine's Day, but this is something special to do, and now that you've all caught your fish,
yeah,
whatever. Did you catch a fish?
Yes, I caught quite a few perch the day I went out.
You did?
Yeah.
Good for you. They're hungry this year, they say.
Well,
lots of ice.
Lots of ice.
Okay.
Ice seems to be pretty safe.
But now you have an invitation for all of us
we've
for
got
this
a
coming
dog race.
weekend, haven't
We've got
you?
a great dog race coming back, the 75th anniversary race. Starting
This
on
is the Sled Dog Championship.
This is the World Championship, the biggest race in the lower 48.
Yeah, and I think I don't know if it's showing up on your picture, but you can probably see the trophy.
I brought the
Keith is the current holder of the trophy.
Well, actually, 2 years ago, we were able to win this great event, and it's one big pressure off my back. But this year, we want to put our name back on it because it does have such meaning. We've 75-year race, downtown again.
Oh yeah, it's starting from downtown, and Keith, you've got here a chart of the course.
Yes.
So you all can see it's going to be 3 days.
3 days, starting Friday, 9 o'clock.
In the morning?
In the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning will be the 6 dog. And 1 o'clock in the afternoon for the open. And it will go Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
The open, you mean with the bigger teams?
The open will be unlimited.
How many dogs are in your team?
We'll probably be one of the bigger teams. I'm planning on 18 dogs.
Wow.
And that's about 120 feet long.
Yes. That's a
big
lot
snake.
of
That's a
to
lot
handle.
of power. Yeah, and we plan on doing 17 miles, and well, we hope to do it in the low 50s, mid 50s.
Well, now show us where you're going.
Well, we're starting out
to
at
start right
downtown.
down in Main Street.
Right down where they did it back in the 20s. And it's always a crowd pleaser. The turnout's generally great. Line both sides of the street, going right up and through Main Street. We leave Main Street and go up to Peachy Park.
Yeah.
And we go down to Peachy to where the Elm Street, before you get to Elm Street on, now it's called 106. Or Parade Road,
Parade Road, yeah, that's a better name.
We loop around the field in front of the prison and go out behind the state prison.
Oh yeah,
this year.
Go over there.
Present years, we have, so people don't get confused, we've gone through the country club and up and crossed over and followed the road back, which has made it much more, very viewable race. You could watch 80% of the race by car if you had a favorite team or Laconia's been a great view course for years.
This year you can't so much?
This year you're going to have to utilize the first 2 or 3 miles out. Or get on
Then you go over here by
the state school prison.
The state school prison.
And we get down on Wiscombe.
And you go across the lake?
We're going all the way down the lower end of the lake.
Oh, where's that?
Well, I think that would be called the North Shore, but we're going to go all the way down.
That's the Big Island up there.
There's Big Island, right? So we're going to go down and do a 10-mile, 9.5, 10-mile loop and get back and run back in and down to Peachy again, which we've started many years there, and go right back down Main Street. Now, due to the snow conditions, they're working real hard to get us this course, and we can't
Are you
use
going to make a little jog up here before
Yes.
you get to Oak Street over to Pleasant?
right after Oak Street, according to this. Yes.
Well, coming back, I'm talking.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
It'll be the same.
Yeah.
So where the Indian statue is in the park, we'll cut in right in there. And we'll run one way. The traffic will be diverted, and I think one lane will be going on one side of Main Street. So, but it's a place to go this weekend. We expect great weather. We're downtown again, and you'll see some of the greatest dog teams in the world come to try to take the title. And many
It's
have
the World
tried. Very
Championship.
few have ever done it. So I'd
It's
like
been
to say
running
we have.
with a few interruptions for 75 years.
75 years.
Yeah.
And our family's got 9 years between me, my dad, and my stepdad, Dick Moulton, and I'd love to
I remember when your
pull-
father won and when Dick
pull it
Moulton won.
off. So it would give us 10 and 75 years. So that's our goal. Whether we can do it or not, we'll know next Sunday.
Well, you're going to be trying.
So
with
the team looks
18
good.
dogs.
Yeah, they look excellent.
That's a big, big team.
Yeah.
How many teams are running, Keith?
Oh, I expect 10 to 15 teams.
Mm-hmm.
There's many more in the area, but this is a grueling, demanding race, and in the top in the country.
Are you
are
going
gonna
to do
become
this 3 days in a row?
3 days in a row. Same dogs.
In
Can't
that-
add dogs, just the ones you've used.
You have to use the same dog.
Same dogs, 3 days in a row.
And if a dog goes lame on the trail, you have to put him on the
Put 'em in the
sled and bring him
sled.
home.
And put them in we've got a basket and closed baskets now that we're requiring, which was different than the old days, but yeah. It's a closed basket.
Things have changed.
Yeah.
Have you got that poster of the first sled dog race?
You'd
Where
like
is
to
it?
see that, wouldn't you?
Yes, I would. I
That's
think
really
we should
shows-
see it.
Shows what
This
the
is
race is about.
75 years ago, friends.
This
Was
is a
that
poster.
1929?
This is a poster, yes. This is a poster from 1929.
Isn't
And my
that
mother
beautiful?
just gave that to me. Matter of fact, I didn't mention it. She's going to be honorary judge this year. They're
Well, wonderful.
honoring her. I'm
I'll
trying to
look
get her to
forward to
come up,
seeing
but
her.
I don't know if I can get her up here. I've been trying.
Where is she?
She's in Florida. She's got horses now, and
Oh.
she's always been in the animals, so she has horses and doing very well down in Florida.
That's wonderful.
But anyway, yes, so this goes back to 1929, and it's very interesting because it started right in Laconia, and back then they used just the rolled snow roads, and it goes all the way to New Hampton, Bristol,
Yeah, well, that's one day.
Hill,
And
Franklin.
that's the first day?
First day, first leg. The second leg, they went through Meredith, Center Harbor, I presume to
Oh,
Wolfboro,
around the lake,
around the lake and across.
across Lake Winnipesaukee,
Yeah.
down to the Weirs and through Paugus, through Lakeport, and back. And the third day, friends, if they weren't exhausted, they started out and they went down here to Belmont and through Gilmanton and Gilmanton Ironworks, Alton Bay, back on the lake part of it, and over back here to Lakeport and back to Main Street.
And I've talked
What
to
a grueling race.
talked to some old timers that's seen it, like a guy named Bob Lamprey out of Center Harbor, and he says,
Oh, yes, I know, Bob.
he says, I remember that when they came. It must have been the second leg. They must have gone through Moultonboro, because he says, I watched it right here in Moultonboro, the dog teams, as Sepler was racing, as, the ones that delivered the serum.
Leonard Sepler came down here in the, it was in the 60s.
Yes.
He came down to the races and I interviewed him. And I remembered that because I was just a little girl, but oh dear, little bit of past history, but back
Yes, we're back,
way back, it was in 1921, I guess, was it, or 22 or 23, in around through there. Any rate, there was a terrible outbreak of diphtheria in Nome, Alaska, and not only did they not have antibiotics, they did have a serum for it, but there was no way to communicate with Nome because no airplanes, no roads, no nothing. The only way they could get in, they did have telegraph, but was by sled dog. And so the mushers in Canada organized, and Alaska organized a thing to get the serum to Rome,
They made
to
a
Nome
chain.
for the diphtheria, and they made a chain.
Yeah.
And yes, Leonard Seppala was one of the ones who was on that chain. And Balto was the lead dog of the team that went into Nome. And there's a statue of him on the at the entrance to Central Park in New York, at 57th
Yes.
Street and Fifth Avenue.
Yes.
Balto, B-A-L-T-O.
T-O, right.
And I talked to Mr. Seppala about that, and somewhere I have a picture of him. And it was just wonderful.
So
and
this is going to be another historical race in the year 2000, where we're going back down Main Street.
Well, I was then. They also used to have in the movies what they called Pathé News that came before the main feature.
Yes.
And in 1929, I was sitting in a movie theater in Germantown, Pennsylvania, and watching a Saturday movie like the kids do. And I nearly went out of my seat because it had pictures of the sled dogs in Laconia going down through the main street and everything. I said, I know, I've been there, I know where it is. I was so excited to hear about it. I thought it was simply great, yes. And ever since, it's been a fabled race, really a wonderful one. And Keith's father, I remember when your father won.
Yeah.
And the original trophy,
Oh, it was a beauty.
which was as big as this, I think.
I would say it was bigger even.
Oh, it was tremendous. I wish I had a picture of that. Maybe somebody has and will show us, because you said it was during the silver, what did you call it, the silver?
The silver rush, I don't know when we
well,
had
there
the
was a
Stampede
time
of
back,
Silver.
yes,
Two
in
brothers.
the Hunt brothers in Texas figured they would corner the silver market, so they started buying up all the silver. This is an aside, but still. And the price of silver went up and up and up. It got to $60 an ounce. Wow. And, of course, silver was being stolen right and left. And during that time, the bowl was stolen, and it's never appeared. It was lovely. It had what the French call repoussé work, the relief of the sled dog team going around the bowl with the sled behind
it. Was peened in, or
yes,
it was
out. It was in relief. It stood out.
Yeah, it was absolutely.
And it was the most stunning bowl I think I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
I remember they had it. They were taking pictures of it, and I remember seeing it when your father won it.
Yeah, he retired it.
Yeah, and there's been a wonderful history of sled dog racing. Lowell Thomas used to come up and start the races when he was the big 7 o'clock news announcer on the radio before they had any TV. Yeah, he was big stuff.
Yeah.
And all kinds of people came to it, and I'm so glad. And as we said, they used to start it down on Main Street, and they're going back to this again, going to do it, going up Main Street again. Oh, honey, you don't want to miss it. And bring the kids. Only, don't bring your pet dogs. That's a no-no. Or even pet pussycats, I guess. Although they
no, they wouldn't last too long either, I don't think.
Pet dogs and sled dogs do not mix. It's not. Leave them at home. Don't bring them to see the excitement.
Yeah, just
I'm
bring
serious.
yourselves.
That's really important. Right?
Well, yeah, we're trying to control 18 dogs. There's 16 dogs, and a dog should get in the middle of them. It just makes havoc. Although we
What do
train
you
them,
do when they get tangled up?
we just keep on going. My team's trained, and teams we
They are?
train them. They don't mess around with dogs. They're supposed to go by anything.
Do they ever
come
get
across.
their harnesses tangled?
That's what could really injure one of my animals or their animals if they got caught in the ropes or whatever in the tether the dogs.
They really like to do that,
Oh,
don't they?
they're already at home. I'll tell you, they've been training and they're a little sour, and then now they feel good. And I've been starting to give them off some laid off time, so now their bodies and they look like they're ready to go. So
They do?
yeah, we're really.
What
happy.
kind of dogs are they?
We have
Johnny Lyman, who wasn't able to come today, the Lymans used to have setters.
Setters, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, but what do you have?
Oh, we have Huskies base, and then we've started just a new program. We had Quebec Hounds that we purchased from Tremel 5-6 years ago, incorporated into the Husky line now, and now we're working with German Shorthair Pointers. We're working in the line.
Interesting.
And I think I'll have a half pointer on my team this weekend. A dog that's been semi-house dog, and we call her Jealous. And that's my wife Claudia will attest. She's jealous of anything that gets around me, and she's the funniest dog. But she's also a husky, and they just seem to have more stamina.
They want to run, don't they?
Yeah, and that with the Huskies bred in, it seems to be the winning combination in Alaska, and they love to run.
Do you, by any chance, remember Short Seeley, who used to
race? I know.
She was at the Wanalancet Kennels.
I know the history because, of course, but I was a little kid then.
I know you were.
So. But so all sorts of the Blodgetts had the Walker Coonhounds.
Oh,
My
yes.
family bred into that.
And
My
who
dad
was the man that always flew the Confederate flag? Do you remember there was one who used to
Charlie Posing.
Yes.
He was a great old buck, yeah. And my dad even won Laconia with a Border Collie on lead.
He did have?
My mother had a Border Collie that was a barn dog, and the dog ate the barn up every time they went training, so they said, hell with it, we'll hook up that Border Collie, and he led my dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah. A dog named Kimmy. Yeah.
Isn't that wonderful?
Pure Border Collie. And the only reason he ever got chosen is because when they put him in the barn in one of the stalls, he just started eating the stalls because he wasn't with the rest.
He wanted to go with the rest of them.
He wanted to be part of the deal, and he was part of the family, all right. House dog and running dog.
So you never know where the talent is, do you?
It takes all kinds.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah. So.
I think that's just thrilling. Well, now we should tell everybody again.
All right.
What and where and when. We'll take the old poster down. That is a beautiful piece.
Yeah.
Be careful of it.
I will.
And you've got the itinerary on here, I think. Yes.
Yes, I think
Well,
so.
here's the itinerary. This will do again. Once again, they're starting on Saturday morning. Friday morning, excuse me, and you're not worried about us being Friday, February the 13th, are you? No.
I didn't hear such a thing.
No,
Valentine's.
okay.
I got my sweetheart
Valentine's
with me.
Day.
We'll just try to win it again.
Yeah, and they're starting at 9 o'clock in the morning with the six dog teams. Are there many of them?
Oh, there'll be probably 30 to 40 teams.
Oh, there will. Any local people, honey?
Do
you know?
Yeah, there's. I'm just trying to think real quick. Who will be the locals coming in? Clifford will obviously be coming with the open team. Cousins, she was going to drive our second team, a six-dog team, but we chose not to put the team out.
You're not going to have a six-dog
No,
team?
we decided against it. We have other races, and by then we'll probably be looking up for some backups.
That's right. You've been racing all winter, haven't you?
Well, we haven't had many because of the snow conditions.
Oh.
We've only raced twice, and so far we've only pulled off a second. So we've been 2 seconds to John Bosnell. So he's going to be.
Is he going to be racing?
Oh yeah, John's never won Laconia. He's been in the top 3.
Where's he from?
He's from Quebec.
Oh, that's your hometown,
Yeah.
Claudine. Yes.
She could tell you the names of the towns, but so he's gotten us twice this year. And so he's going to be tough. And we obviously have Trammell, who we're all fearful of because he's...
Who's that again?
Riel Trammell. He's won the race prior, too.
Oh.
And him and I are kind of arch rivals. We were great
2000.
friends.
You won 2000.
He won 2000. We're great friends, but we're better rivals on the course. And I know him and I are going to be slugging it out. And then we've got guys like Jason Rodenhouse coming from Michigan. And Jason's done well here. And this year he's picked up some dogs, the rumor has, from Alaska last year. He's rolling very well. He's done well out in the Midwest. And then there's a guy named Hockman. And he's coming from Western Canada, who is also got a great dog team. And so, in the Butlers and Sam
That's going to
Bergs,
be a real hot competition.
those boys were just a minute off the pace last weekend to
You
us the
start
second day.
a minute apart.
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
3
apart.
minutes. The six dog will start 1 or 2 minutes. But with such big dog teams, we don't want to have them all bunched up at once.
No, you can't do
And,
that. They have to be timed and very...
Timed,
I
yes.
remember one year when we broadcast the thing, and I think Roxy, who was then running the station, cornered every stopwatch in town. He got them from Jack Sawyer, and he got them from...
So we could time
Ted
for the
Page,
radio, the quarters.
And he had all the personnel of the station parked out all around the course with radio
Did it
and telephones,
live?
Yeah.
Did it
And
live?
calling in when they were passing, so-and-so passed here, so many minutes and tenths of a second, so many seconds.
And then you guys would have passes
And
out
then
there.
he'd be calculating the thing.
Yeah.
And Barbara Hubbard and Neil Seavey would be, oops, there goes my thing. I hope I'm still heard. But they would be sitting in the WLNH broadcast wagon and talking about it.
Yeah,
We had a good time.
Just help the race more interesting.
Yeah.
So now they have amateur AM/FM radio people that go out and help. I'm sorry, I can't say who they are and whatever, but we've got a lot of help. We're looking for help. If anybody would love to help, we have a Main Street start, so we have a lot to cover. So if you can come and volunteer
Where
Friday,
should they go?
Down to, I would say, down
Street
Main
Start
Street,
Center?
10 o'clock, 11 o'clock.
Fun.
Or, no, actually, I shouldn't say that because we have the 6 dogs, so probably 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
But anytime
They're
during
leaving
that.
at 9. And the big team's at 1.
1.
Yeah.
And
then on Saturday,
same schedule.
same thing.
Sunday, the same
thing. And of course, once again, they'll be leaving from Main Street down here, right by Bloom's down there.
Yeah.
And then they'll be going up Main Street and over into Opeechee Park and up through and over into the shore, aren't you?
Right on the lake, actually.
Right along the
much.
lake there. And you make a circle around up here, and then you go over across through by the state prison. Well, never mind. You're going that way, yeah. And then you come up and go up along Lake Winnisquam, around Big Island, and down again. The snowmobile teams will be able to see you from the lake, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, and there's the viewing areas around the lake, too.
Some lovely places. We used to go up there on our snowmobiles. And then you come back again, down again, the same way that you went before. The 6-dog team, which starts at 9 o'clock each morning, is going to go up and then make a loop around by the Laconia Country Club this way around and come back again. And they'll do that 3 days in a row.
I can't forget about the 3-dog juniors.
Oh!
We have them 2 days.
You do.
And they're going to go, and this is, you got to see this. I think they run, I'm going to look down here. I think they run in between the 2 classes. Yes, noontime. The 3-dog juniors. And that's.
But the 6 dogs, isn't it just on Saturday and Sunday?
No, it's a 3 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But just the 3-dog will be only 2 days. But they'll run at noontime, and the kids, they're. And go out with their 3 dogs. We've got a team. There's a Briar Patch team out there with Brittany Colbath.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Rachel, she'll have a 1-dog team out there. So we're going to have a few different dog teams racing.
We're going to be the dog team capital of the world.
Well, we are the biggest in the lower 48.
Yeah.
So, and it's always it's a pretty prestigious race. Not many places can say they've had a 75th year running of such an event. And Laconia is well known
and
for this.
another thing, there I go again. I hope I'm still on the air. Am I still on the air?
Oh, well.
Yeah, I'm okay. Knocking the paraphernalia around. Sorry about that, friends. What I was going to say is, any of you have cameras or movie cameras or whatever you've got, bring it out when you go to watch, because these are really wonderful photo ops. You can get marvelous pictures of the teams coming along and the mushers going behind it. It's great.
Yeah, showing working animals.
Coming up over the snow or across the lake. Beautiful pictures.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, it's great fun.
Yeah. Can I put in a little blurb for the little tiny thing that follows you afterwards for the little kids?
Yes.
Ed Benoit on Saturday, the following Saturday.
Yes, the kid in mutt race?
Yeah, the little mutt race.
Yeah.
Ed Benoit and the VFW are sponsoring that.
Yes.
And that's for kids to bring, not trained dogs, not mushers or anything like that, but their pets. And they have some little sleds down there at the VFW, and they'll give them a sled, and their ages 3 to 12, I think, can go. And they can race down on a little course there behind the VFW.
And I forgot. Do you realize there's going to be a human sled dog race?
Oh, yeah, I know. I think that's crazy.
It is a crazy thing. We did it last year, and it was surprising. It was pretty hilarious. Local businesses, together. I think there's 4 runners, a passenger, and a driver. and they go sprinting up, and that I believe will be Saturday. So.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy thing, but you know what people do, but it's funny. Oh yeah, watching them get run over and stuff. They all think it's pretty easy, but when you hook humans to a sled, it's kind of funny.
Of course it is.
It's kind of funny.
Oh dear.
So.
Well, once again, remember you've got a lot of wonderful things to do this weekend, and the International World Championships Sled Dog Derby is the best thing that you can do, and it's on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right here from downtown Laconia. So get the kids and come on out. They'll enjoy it. Bring your camera, but not your puppy dog. Okay?
Great.
Thank you, Keith Breyer.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you. Take care of that trophy.
I will, hopefully.
Claudine, good to meet you. You take care of the manager of the dogs, are you not? Yes. She's very quiet, but she's very efficient. And thank you all for listening. I hope you have a wonderful St. Valentine's Day and a wonderful weekend. Until next time, then, Esther Peters saying bye now.
News and Special Events Divisions of the Mutual Broadcasting System present a special report.
This first satellite was today successfully launched in the U.S.
Dallas, Texas, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m.
This is probably the most difficult time for a problem like this to occur.
Today's act of terrorism at the Olympic Games in Munich, West Germany.
Every instinct in my body. But as president, I must put the interests of America first. America needs a full-time president.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Orenthal James Simpson, not guilty of the crime.
Here's another late development, and as news keeps coming in,